Hey folks, we're going to do some artwork today. So give me a hot second here for me to check in on my signal, make sure that we're live and all the blah de blah, and we'll get things kicking here. So let's see. If you're already familiar with the channel, just skip ahead a minute. We'll be done with all of the updates and stuff like that, and we'll get into the actual artwork for the day. But for those that are new to the channel, welcome to the mix. Loving having you. I really appreciate you being here. New to the channel, welcome to the mix. Yeah, it sounds like my sound is coming through A-OK. That sounds great. We'll drop that down there. I've got some quick social media posts to do, and then we'll get underway. So, yeah, I create role-playing games. I illustrate them, and I publish them online, and we're creating an adventure for the Eberron campaign setting using the new 5e 2024 rules. Crystals of Mabar. You can see the book over here on screen, and that should just about finish up all my footwork to get things going. Let's rearrange our screen. There we go. And so like, subscribe, bell icon, notification, blah, blah, blah. I've got a bunch of books that are linked down here in the description. If you think this stuff is cool, check it all out. It all has free previews. It's chock full of my art and ideas. And yeah, nothing left to do but to get going. So let's get going. Clear this out of the way. All right, so we're making an Ultroloth today. We worked a little bit on this yesterday, got a sketch going. I'm happy enough with that pose. It fits inside the square space that we need for our tokens. So here's a square space. It fits. Well, it just got elongated. But you saw there for a second that it fit properly inside of the square. So square tokens fill the space. So let's see. Let's find our reference image here. This is what we got from Wizards of the Coast. We can use this for our color references when we start to create our dude here. It will have some differences but similarities. So I should probably add teeth and stuff like that, but we'll get to that. So let's see, here's our whip. So let's just fix this line here real quick. There, we'll just fix that up real quick. Nice little tail there. Okay, cool. And so, okay, great. Let's start layering in here. We'll put this down to the trash drawer. We'll call this body. And we have line art, and we'll have color layer after that. So we're going to do our flats, and then we'll do detail work. And let's put the line art above. We'll drop the opacity a bit on the line art. Let's start with, so we'll go with flesh, and then clothing, and then we'll do detail work, and then we'll bond it together, and then we'll do texturing. So let's go with, I could probably fix his face a little bit better than that. There, let's add a little bit of. This the illustration that we the reference that we have down here is binocular vision, but this Ultroloth was created from the artifact, the Eye of Mabar, basically a single molded eye made out of the necrotic energy of the plane of Mabar, and it fuses with the body of the necromancer that's performing the ritual to become a Cyclopsian form instead of the normal binocular vision. That's this Cyclops concept is a general theme involving the creatures of Mabar that get created by this artifact. So I want to remain consistent with the theme and go with that idea as well. Yeah, we're doing okay here. His skull's a little tall, but I think that is fine. Let's break that down here. think I'm going to be okay with that. We can work on the eye. So far, so good. So we won't fret over it too much right now. Let's go here to color. All right, flats. Let's add them in. Here is, looks like this is the base color. This is the highlight, and this is the shadow. Look at how that color flips. You can see over here in the RGB, it has this upward curve like this, and then when you get into the shadow, it completely flips, and the neutral space has this greenishness to it. So that feels pretty good. I'm gonna go with that. Look what happens down here. Is that also that blue flip? I like that. I like that a lot. So we're gonna go with that. Let's go with yeah, that green base color should treat us okay for now. Oh yeah, this is gonna work out. And we're gonna just manually fill this in because I like to manually fill. It's a skill challenge for me to learn how to control my weapon of choice, the digital easel and brush tool. This is going to the more things I do manually myself, the more skilled, the more familiar, the more easy I have time using the tools. There's no limit to how good you can get with your chosen tools. Everything is a skill test. Everything improves your abilities. And there's really no sense in, like, you can look at things as either shortcuts or as tools to aid you. And like the fill tool, for example, to fill in a space. Like, I didn't do it there. Like here, we just filled the space. That expedites things, but I like doing it manually because it makes me more familiar. Because I'm going to end up going over this line art with the color merged into it to blend it into a single form, to remove the comic book sort of feel to it. Like I'll curve these edges and flesh things out, pardon the pun. But the more familiar I am with the piece here that we're working, the easier time I'm going to have in doing that integration portion of the piece. So I can block that in, and then I can actually extend it down into the body. That's not a bad idea. And I'll go with the leopard pants outfit that the guy has in the reference image. I'm cool with that. And the rest of them is covered, so not a lot of body going on there. Let's go down here and take a look at these crazy pants, purple pants. I'm loving it. Looks like that's our base color for pants, so we'll go with that. I don't think that shows up anywhere else inside here. Nope. So we'll take that. You can see here that purple is the opposite of green, right? Although in the gray tones they look incredibly similar, they're actually flipped. So when you don't have color vision, that's something that I have to pay particular attention to, because all I'm seeing is gray tone. So this RGB slider up here in the corner is my color vision for me while I work on these pieces. Yeah, we'll leave that be. We can have that be like that. And let's see, we want a base color for this. It looks like it has some good highlights, some shadow. Here's some shadow. It's got a reddishness to it. This has a blue night to it. This is a sharp or very paled out blue. Where's the mid-tone? That looks like the mid-tone. Interesting mix of blue and red that we got going on here to create the blue and the purple. It's actually a pretty well balanced color piece. You know, looking at what the colors are. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we're gonna go with the superhero pointy boots because he's a villain. I think that's fun. So we got leggings, and now we have a separate layer for armor and stuff. I know that the core of this. Let's hit the save button here. There, and we can. See, this is all very similar in grayscale. Very, very similar. It's a little bit different. Like there's like maybe a 5% different in the grayscale gradation between each other. Even though this mild red should be popping off pretty hard against the green skin that we have going. I'm sure that's an easy contrast for you guys to see, but I actually, since I don't have any color vision, I'm only operating in grayscale. I need to pay closer attention to that differentiation. Hey, what's going on? Morning, Steve. So this should be a pretty good composition for me to use as an example of operating in color blindness. And this whip will be behind the character, not in front of it. So I'm going to fold this up here real quick. Go here like that, and drop that into the trash. There, that's a more accurate look to how this thing is built. It's not the most exciting action pose, but that's okay. He's triumphant. The only reason you run across this guy is because the DM decides that the necromancers complete the ritual before the team can stop them. And that drops a CR 13 demon, or fiend rather, a CR 13 fiend into the team's lap. And honestly, at 8th level, if they've taken relatively 0 damage and still have a lot of their resources, this will be a hell of a fight for them. It might kill them all. It is definitely a deadly level fight, but we know how deadly level fights go in D&D. The players often find a way despite the danger. So if the DM's running a one-shot, go ahead and allow the ritual to be completed when the characters arrive to witness this thing hatching from the necrotic egg, and give them basically a free round to take shots at it. Before it lays in and just starts devastating everybody. Hey, what's going on, Fox? It's good to see you. A little color book action. Yeah, right? Yeah, this is my meditation, coloring books. Artists are zen because we draw the coloring book we then relax into. This is so once a month I journey downtown. I do artwork like this Monday through Fridays in the morning, and then I do game design on Mondays and Thursday nights and Saturday morning. But once a month during the week, I take the Mecca downtown to go hang out in the corporate office, the marketing agency that I work at, and do, you know, corporate team building stuff. So that happens tomorrow for me. So I will not be here as scheduled like usual. It'll be my day off. I also have I'll be around during the winter holiday break, Christmas and New Year. I will not be working on Christmas Day. I'm going to spend that with family, friends. But I have a lot of vacation time. Basically, from the 22nd to the 2nd, I've got. I work 2 days, and the rest of the time I have off on vacation. So with a little bit of luck and God's grace, we should be able to get a lot of stuff done, and get really, really close. Like maybe have this thing published like in the first week of January, possibly. I'm allowing myself the time and the grace that if I don't have it published by, this thing should be done in January. I can't really see unless I get wounded or something happens. I should be able to have this published before July. Before July for sure. Before February is what I'm trying to say. That is my belief. So we'll see if that comes through or not. But that is the current hope and plan. And then I get to start working on something else. So I'm excited about that. Hey, what's up? No death throws until the project is out the door. Yeah, no kidding, right? If God decides to take me, please just let me finish this fucking thing. Here we go. There's probably going to be a time gap where the assets for like all the art assets and stuff for this are done, but I'm still building the book off screen. If we get to that state, it takes honestly working on the dropping image files into the book and arranging it so that it sits properly. It is very RAM and visually intensive. So typically, I don't do a lot of art placement and an actual book integration on screen because it just absolutely crushes my computer's ability. Like I will have lag on the program. You'll possibly have lag in watching me do it. It probably won't be a good experience. So if I finish all the art assets and there is a time delay between publishing, between finishing these art assets and actually publishing the book these assets go into, if that occurs, I will be filling my mornings with landscape painting, Bob Ross style landscape painting, and I will do that until it's actually published. And at that point, we'll then switch gears because it's nice. Landscapes is a very relaxing palate cleanser for me, so I really enjoy doing that sort of work. Let's grab this guy's whip. Fill that in here. I see text. What's up? Hold on. I'll catch up with y'all. Yeah, we'll do at least one landscape painting, if not two. There's a couple of cool ones that I've had as screen as backgrounds pop up and screensavers and stuff that I've saved that will break down and duplicate. The guy looks pretty cool. What's up? Oh my God, yes. And then a pair of cross socks. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I love doing landscape paintings. Anyone that's followed along the creation of this, you've seen that I've tried to squeeze in landscape paintings anywhere that I can justify it. It is by far my favorite activity is landscape painting. If I get to a point in my life where I feel like building books for D&D or RPGs is just too much, I'll just do landscapes all the time. I'll still be painting constantly. Nothing's gonna stop me from painting except for like losing my limbs or whatever. Who knows? Whatever horrible things could happen to me that could cause me to stop painting. Those would be the only reasons I would stop. So let's not dwell on that too much. We'll work on the eye. later. We won't worry about that this instant. Right now, we're just going to work on... Okay, so we have our flats, and so the next thing we want to do is work on our highlights. So we're going to grab this highlighty bit here, which is a pale blue-green, and then our shadow is a deeper blue. See how those two things are flipping around? I love that. It has this neat symmetry going on for the highlights and the shadow, so we can lean into that. And we want to have the light source towards the middle of the page, which corresponds to the lighting here, so that's not so bad. Let's see. Shadow, we'll work shadow first. Oops. I want to put this down here underneath the armor. That makes it really, really easy for us to do lighting, because I don't have to worry about, because I'm doing these things in separate layers. Since the clothing is on top of the skin, I can just drop the shadow into that space. Sorry, word salading a little bit there. There'll probably be some fits of silence today for whatever reason. We'll go like this for now. Let's switch to switch to our smudge round brush here and drop the opacity a little, drop the strength a little bit so it's a little lighter on the smudge. And start fleshing this bit out, getting that curve in here and matching the movement in here a little bit. Dugga, 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 dugga. I like this music. I like Epidemic. I like it as a streaming service. It's really nice. Let's curve that around like that for the top of the head. There we go. And then drop in here. We're just kind of narrating with Phil right now. I don't have any particular thought subjects on my mind. Last night's stream was a lot of fun. We built out another one of the asteroid communities that are in the Spelljammer campaign we're going to run on Discord. Should probably be a line between those two things for its shoulder, but I'm going to leave it be for now. We still have a few unique structures to build, and we'll do that on Thursday when we're back to game design in the evening. That, put that in here like this. I'm looking forward to it. Oh yeah, there's not a lot of skin poking through on this guy. A real monochrome looking. I'm gonna open this up here to add our highlights in. Just put some highlight in over here and then over here like that, and then glaze over here. Drop this in here like that. Get a smidge of lighting in here, some lighting on the back of the hand, some highlights here on the neck, a bit on the chest. There we go. I'm really looking forward to the next season of Fallout. I will be putting some couch time in on that show during the holidays for sure. So what we'll do is once we have this lighting figured out here for the body, we'll bond the line art into the into the color that we're building, and then merge it all together, and then work on texturing inside of it. They're not so bad. And apparently Hulu has the next season of Spy Family playing right now. I adore Spy Family. It is such a wholesome, fun show. I will probably be spending some time on that during the holiday as well. My intention was to have a pre-recorded video and have that play tomorrow instead of since I won't be on stream tomorrow because I'm going downtown. I have to leave at 6:30 in the morning to get to where I need to be, which is, well, we started at 6:30, so I wouldn't have a starting time. So the intention was to create a video, but I don't know. I haven't carved out the time to properly do it, and I've only got tonight to do it. I don't know if it'll happen or not. I really want to start doing prepared, like, pre-recorded videos about, like, DM philosophy type stuff, like a lot of dungeon tubers do. It hasn't. The energy is there. It's just I don't control it yet. So I don't know if I'm going to actually. I would have to make that video tonight, and I don't have 100% confidence that I'll be able to complete it with editing and all the stuff that I want to make it happen. Because it's a production, and I only have limited time. And I've spent that time making all of this stuff instead of scraping away the time to build it. To build a separate video. So I doubt I'm going to have it. If something grabs me and inspires me, if the muse wants it to happen, it's going to happen, regardless of how little sleep I get tomorrow night. Because if she wants it, she's going to get it. But I don't. Right now, I don't feel the energy. So I've been threatening to start doing that, and I definitely want to. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to start happening, but I can feel it growing. As a shift in priority and gears inside myself to be able to do those things, but we'll see how it all shakes out. It's on the way, is what I'm trying to say here. We'll get to that place. There, put that in, and then here for highlights, flush that out. Good. Here. Okay, I think I've whinged on that detail enough now. Let's go with some action pants down here. Light purple and dark purple. No, dark blue. We'll start with the dark, and then we'll layer on the light on top. Light overlaps and destroys darkness. So when you're layering, typically what I recommend is to go with dark on the bottom, and then light on top. So do your flats, then dark, and then light. That's the way that I recommend. If you're only going to do 2 layers, I recommend shadow and then light. But I like having the 3rd layer as a base, just to keep things balanced out. That and here. Yeah, not the most exciting pose, but it's serving its purpose. I'm happy with it. We'll do once we bond the line art into the color, we'll be able to do a border cleanup to clean up, you know, to get rid of all the little scraggly bits that go into here. They don't really bother me during this process of the step, but it is a good cleaning cycle that we'll get to go through. That feels good. There. And then drop in the shadow there some more. Add a little bit of curvature since it's, the thigh is a curved object. Should follow the rules of conic lighting. There we go. I don't have the cool whirlpool texture that we have down there. I may decide to add that. Where did my highlight go? We could go like that. There we go. Light purple. Oops, wrong layer. Separate layer for the highlights. There we go. I think the swirly texture on the legs will actually look really cool when we get to it. I am looking forward to that process. We'll get there soon enough. So far, so good. So what? Good. This looks good. Isn't the most exciting pose in the world, but I will forgive myself for that. So let's fold that up, and now we're on to the armor. And this will be largely, let's go with a dark like that. And then we'll find some highlight here like this. So we'll go here for now. Yeah, we'll dark that up. Like that. Let's build that into here. Looking at how the form bends around the body. Create those shadow shapes like that. Very good. Thank you, Timely Timer. Got about 40 minutes left this morning, is that right? Yeah, 40 minutes left or so. And we'll have some probably highlighting along the back edge here, kind of like they have down here as well. That rim lighting helps create more contrast in the form. So we'll lean into that idea as well. Smudge this in. Yeah, down here like that. Lock that in. This is such a pale piece so far. It's I'm used to having a lot more contrast in my piece. It's interesting that this doesn't. I'm trusting the process, but I don't honestly know where it's going right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this thing decides to resolve itself. Put that in like that, just like that. So far, so good. Here. So far, so good. So what? Let's add in some. Let's add in some highlight here. Yeah, we'll do it like that. But then I want to add in the much deeper red base. Get this out here. Let's smudge that out. I'm starting to feel it. Sometimes I have to scrape at it for a while until I can actually feel the piece, like what it's trying to do, and I'm starting to feel it. I don't have a lot of words going on today. I'm sorry, guys. No huge theories or philosophies coming out of me right now. It's just I'm just grinding my way through this thing, just watching it happen with you guys. Let's go back and add in the shadow over here. Like that, and like this. Has a very Dragon Ball Z Saiyan sort of feel to this guy. Wrong layer. Let's add back up to here. I'm here for that. I like the Dragon Ball. The Z makes it good. The original Dragon Ball show was okay. Use that hand there to help guide where the highlights can be here, and then blend it down. Not so bad. Okay, so something is missing here, and I think what I want to do is add another layer over that darkness, because I really want to darken up this armor. Let's go. How do I want to do this? Let's try that. I'm just using the form button right now because I already defined the shape. It was easy enough for me to just drop that in like that. Because we're experimenting right now. That feels a lot better. But that shadow is really weird. So I think what I want to do... Oh, yeah. That's how I want to do this. Let's take this. And drop down into blackness. There it is. Yeah. There. Okay, now I'm feeling better about that. Spread this across. It's looking pretty raggedy right now, isn't it? That's okay. We'll do cleanup and then we'll start adding in details and it'll start looking really interesting. I'm certain. I don't actually know what it's going to end up looking like. I just know that the spark is there. I can feel the spark. That means go. So yes. So far so good. So what? Let's take this. Take the body. I'm gonna add these to the same layer. I'm going to merge these layers down. This might be a little early for this might be a little early to do this, but it's what I want to do, so I'm gonna do it. Merge that group. Conceal the whip. Let's do some cleanup around the edges, and then we'll start doing actual detail work. Once I'm happy with the outline, I'll be able to go through and start blending the line art into the color, kind of like that. Let's just go ahead and do the blending right now, so then we can erase afterwards. I'm going to switch to my guitar pick because it's better for blending smooth lines instead of smudging. The cloud brush disperses, and the guitar pick that we're using here is better for pushing pixels around. And right now I want to push the pixels into the proper position. And since we've bonded the line art to the color, when I roll like this, I'm pushing both the line art and the color into each other to blend them, to help produce that comic book sort of look to it. And then we'll be able to add another layer on top of it to continue working the details and the shadow. And as those develop, we'll be able to bond that into the overall layer of it. So we're adding and then blending and then adding, merging, blending, adding, merging, blending. We work through different layers. So you can see how the smudge method, that I do a lot of smudging in my art. So it feels like it's like when you're sculpting, you push clay. The pixels feel like pushing the pixels with the smudge brush has that sort of tactile feeling to it. It adds It makes it a little less digital, a little bit more visceral for me, and I like the feeling of that. So I'm very much sculpting with. To me, it feels like sculpting with pigment. There's another life I didn't lead that had me getting really into ZBrush and Maya and creating like rendering 3D characters, like sculpting 3D characters and for computer assets and stuff like video games and shit. But that is a path I chose not to go on. I stayed with the Photoshop and two-dimensional art. If I hadn't gotten into making role-playing books, I probably would have gotten into character rendering like that. But that was a different life. Oops, let's not do that. Let's go back here and let's blend this in. And once we get this blending happen, we can add texturing and print patterns and stuff like that on the body. Right now, we're just using the light and shadow of it to create the base that will be able to overlay the more interesting textures over. Yeah, very much looking forward to getting back into landscaping. That is going to be fun art to do. I'm going to grab this shadow here and add that in. Just a little pinch of it in here. See, I can use this faded, like this partially, like this low opacity line art that we had. We can use that to create additional shadow. There. And we'll just flesh this out here. This is a lot of me narrating the brush strokes that I'm doing right now, mostly because I don't have a more interesting topic of conversation to ramble on about. I like having things to ramble on about. The more excited I am about the topic of conversation that are involved in, the less I pay attention to the pixels that I'm working, which means that my subconscious mind gets to do more artwork, and I get out of the way of myself for it to be able to produce the thing. And that is a wonderful experience. It feels really, really good to just turn off your brain and let your body move. It's relaxing. I'm not actually registering any time as my body goes through that process. That feels pretty amazing. I'm not quite into that free flow state yet. I may find my way there this session. Sometimes I'm in it immediately and I just dive through it and it just carries me through the whole session. But I do not have that right now. It's not necessary for me to be able to produce. That's the most important part, is that regardless of what flow state I'm in or fatigue or emotional space, I can still produce art. That spigot never turns off. I like that. I like how this is sitting. I like everything about this piece. It just needs a lot of blending to end up looking right. So let's grab this highlight and drop some of that in over here to lift that up a little bit, and we'll just blend that in as we go. Yeah, these blending brushes I created do a lot of good work. There. Okay. Just do that like 100 more times and we're done. Art is a practice of patience. You have to give yourself the time and the grace of letting it look sloppy so that it can turn out looking good. Like I will not say that I don't fail at pieces, because I'll throw stuff away if I don't like it. But once I get to this point, there's a good chance that I'm going to be happy with how this looks when we finish it. Just getting to this point in a piece is good. Size that down. Do a little bit of a wraparound like that. And we'll be able to come through and darken shadows, and like while we're going through the texturing process, we'll be able to see how's the light actually hitting and what looks good on this, and be able to adjust it. But this is just our base, our initial step. We're making really good time. If I have this piece finished by Friday, I will be very happy. If we finish beforehand, I will be suspicious, but appreciative. Just continue blending that in. Blend, blend, blend. That's what we're doing here. What a great conversation piece, right? Yeah, yesterday was a banger. It was really, really good. We had a lot of progress and a lot of engagement. It was a lot of fun. I don't expect that every session. There's going to be ebbs and flows as you go. Let's bring this down into here. And then let's blend this up here like that. Yeah, this is working out. The magic happens when the blending starts to really flow together. There's something about melting the line art into the color that just ends up making it look really, really cool. And of course, we'll have to do highlights and stuff like that. So we're working our way through there. We'll get there. Yeah, we'll have to come back. We're definitely gonna have to come back through and do another layer of like sharp highlights and sharp shadows. But I think it'll look good. Hey, that's another 20-minute block kicked by. We got another. It's 7:28 right now. We got another 20 minutes this morning. And again, I won't be here tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to have a video completed or not. I doubt it. The energy right now feels like I'm not going to get it completed for tomorrow, which is fine. There's more and more rumblings inside of me to start producing, like to actually make produced topics of conversation to make videos from, and so we'll get into that. We'll get there. Not quite there yet, but we'll get there. Let's add that darker shadow in here. Be able to pull in through here. Like that. It feels really good. And then push this around to there. Grab some more dark like this, add that in here, help flesh out the bottom of that non-jaw. I don't know why this guy has a jaw. He doesn't have a mouth. The world may never know. Yeah, blend that out. This might not be the most efficient way to do this particular piece, but it's how I like to do art in general. So I think it's panning out. Let's add that there. Counter it over here. There we go. Squid head. So far, so good. So what? Just keep working it. So I want to take that line there, grab that, and add some more shadow down here like that. So I can blend these things in together. Contrast is everything. You don't need lines if you have strong contrast. I like starting with the comic book, right? You start with the line art, you flesh that out, you add in your flat layers, what I do is I blend the line art into the color so that I can destroy the line art, leaving the contrast in place to define the shape. It ends up sharpening the piece. There's a drabness to this piece currently that's happening that I had not anticipated. I trust that when we go back through and pop highlights, that'll end up looking okay. But this is I'm just noticing this is a lot more drab and grayed out than what most of my pieces are. There's a lot less sharp vibrance in this piece right now. I think we'll figure it out. I'm just gonna trust the process. There's no reason for me to doubt it right now. This is where we're always at with a piece where I hate it. Essentially. So we're in the hate phase, which is good because out of the hate phase comes the love phase where I'm like, oh, I figured it out, I'm in love with this piece now. It becomes a victory for me that I celebrate just looking at it. It's like, yeah, I figured out how to do that. I'm proud. We'll get to that point with this one. I'm just not there yet. It's the faith that will be able to accomplish it that keeps me pushing. We've been in this meh state with virtually every piece that took more than 4 hours to produce. So I don't know why this would be any different. It's going to feel meh for a little while. It's that stubbornness, your willingness to stick it through that ends up giving you the victory. But so many things in life are like that. It's like life challenges you and gives you a bunch of failure up front. Or maybe, like if it's what you're supposed to be doing, like maybe you'll have like some pops of success, like some real early kickers. It's like, yeah, this felt good. I want to keep doing this. I like how that went. But then it gets like really fucking hard. It's because you're out of the 30-day free trial that ended, and now you have to pay for it, and you pay for it with emotional grief and effort and repetitive suffering, which is what art really is. So if you get that kick of inspiration, that is the universe saying this is how things can feel for you once you figure out all the baggage that's going to come with this in a few minutes. So you fall in love with the results that you get or the feeling that you have initially. It's like, I want more of that. So you dive into it and you try to figure out how to continue harnessing that. But what'll happen is you'll lose your way and you'll forget how, like, you won't know how you had that feeling initially because you're not skilled at what you're doing. So you'll chase a fleeting feeling without developing the skill set needed to sustain that state. So the trick then becomes, are you willing to put in the time, effort, and pain to get to a point where you have that, where you're then able to have that feeling most of the time while you're doing your craft. I'm speaking very ambiguously right now, but it's because it's a universal principle that could apply to a lot of different things. It's that sense of success, or like belonging, or like this is my thing. And then once it gets tough and you're hitting the challenges of progressing that skill or that art or whatever it is that you're doing, that's when you run into your challenges, and that's when you're first faced of like, is this something that you actually wanted to do, or did you just enjoy the emotional kick? Are you willing to put in the pain, effort necessary for you to be able to have that feeling again, without knowing how much time, effort, and what processes or things you're going to have to let go, or things will have to change about your life to get into that flow state again? Are you willing to pay for that? Are you willing to go through the effort? Most of the payment that you have to make is just time served. Most of life is time served. If you just keep hammering away at what it is that you're doing, it's not so much the result that you get, like the physical result, like view count or payment or whatever, or like number of pages published or whatever. Those are all just physical landmarks. But what gets you through and beyond those landmarks is the feeling that you cultivate in performing the thing that you're doing. So for me, pushing the pixels is a null state activity. It's just something I can do. Like I can ramble at you guys about philosophical shit like this while I'm still pushing the pixels. And look at that, I'm getting this really cool gradient fade effect going on here. The more I disengage my mind from the process at hand, the less I take control and attempt to guide where the thing goes, and I just let it do what it wants to do, the more interesting it becomes. And I get that feeling of, hey, I did that. That's amazing that I was able to do that, because I recognize that I've developed my skills to a point where I can literally turn off my brain and just let it run. And then I get to become an audience member, like the rest of you guys, like watching it happen. Like I'm not really guiding this right now. I'm more than anything else is watching it happen, along with everyone else that's sticking around. And thank you for sticking around. Anyone that decides to stick around, God bless you. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to do this publicly. I used to do artwork like this back before the days of streaming. I'd log in 8 hours of zero time of me producing this stuff, and it was just me listening to music and being in my head and figuring things out. There's a really healthy process about being alone and letting your thoughts play out in a space where there's no consequences for what you're thinking about, where you have the liberty and the freedom to be able to let your brain sort out what it needs to sort out. And artwork is really, really good at that, because once you get into that zero space, you're not really thinking about what you're doing. Your brain starts to then click over to priorities that it had to backlog and like backburn until it had the bandwidth and opportunity, which is why so often, like when you go to bed and you start to slow down, that's when thoughts start to creep in that could scare you. So far, so good, so what? Let's keep at it. We're just working our way through the body slowly but surely. Moving our way from here over to here. Like we didn't do that hand. We should probably come in here and fix the hand so we can close down this whole limb. Hey, what's up? What's up, Defected? It's good to see you, my guy. Blah. Time for a sip of water and some coffee, yo. And one more water. Water, coffee, water. You need 2 times the water of the coffee so you don't dehydrate and give yourself kidney stones, apparently. Straighten that edge there. Just drag myself out of bed. Right on, my guy. You know, sometimes you just need that extra time. No sense hating on yourself for it. Do what the body wants. It's breaking your routine. The body wants to break routine. It wants novelty. It wants world experience. It wants to shake you out of your cycle. For me, the artwork, I can stay and sustain the stream for years because I'm always working on something new and I'm always trying to push my skill set. So even though my time space is typically the same, I mean, I now, you know, go into the office once a month. That helps break me out of my morning routine. You know, every 27 out of 28 days is the same, and then I have that one little 3% break point. That's sufficient for what reality needs me to do to stay healthy. But the body's going to want to break routine. I'll end up putting a highlight in over here. Like that. There. It's still very drab. I'm going to need to punch up the contrast, but I don't feel like this is, I want to blend this stuff in. For whatever reason, Muse wants me to do this. I feel like it's going to be redundant and ultimately painted over, but this is where she wants me at right now. So I'm just going to run the print. I'm not going to question why. I'm just going to do it. The less I question why and the more I just do, the more I end up just stumbling into what it was that I wanted to do. And then the why becomes self-evident. It sort of solves itself, you know? You just got to have, again, the patience and faith that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Art is such a great micro instance, like such a snapshot of life in general. It's really inspiring to have that experience of like not knowing where you're at or what you're doing, and then to basically like pop out the other end. And it's like, oh, this is what we were doing. I get it now. Kind of like when you're lost and then you make a turn and it's like, oh, I know this road. I've never been down this road. Now you know what's down that road. You know, it's like you didn't know that until you got lost. It led you to some place that is a moment of discovery and aha and completion for you. It's like I just filled in that gap of knowledge in my life. I now have a more complete map of my neighborhood or whatever. It wants discovery, and it wants yeah, I think discovery is probably a good word for that. Discovery, the mind loves discovery, and it loves being able to correlate and connect and create a greater design or a greater structure than what it had previously. Like that is the ego's jam. It loves doing that. It loves creating connection and relevance and importance and verifying that all this stuff has a purpose and a real meaning. That's a lot of what the brain is designed to do. The soul doesn't need any of that shit. The soul just wants to feel emotion. But the brain, it wants to process, acknowledge, create, correlates, cross-reference, reinforce. Yeah, I just need a little more contrast. We'll have to punch it up a little bit. But so far so good. We can worry about that when we get into texturing. Let's go here. And add some of that peck in there. Peck. There's a peck here. He's pointing an acorn at me. Help. That's a nice dark bit. Let's grab that dark purpliness. Here. Put the away, Peck. Out of the way, Peck. That's a Willow reference for those that don't know. Willow, Val Kilmer, Warwick, what's his nuts. Good film. Oh, man, Willow's just a hell of a film. Highly recommend. The TV show sucked ass. I watched like maybe an episode or two of that, and I was like, "Fuck this." It completely missed all the love of what Willow was. But God, Willow as a movie was such a great movie. So much fun. Ignore the bird. Follow the river. Willow, Dark Crystal. That's a good back to like a double feature. Now the TV show was just a cash grab. Yeah, it really was. Yeah, great film. Loves Willow. See, this guy's coming along. He's coming along. Rendering takes time, and you have to be okay with that. That's where the magic happens. This'll probably end up being a really cool piece. I just don't see it yet, right? It's not my job to see it right now. My job is to push some fucking pixels, monkey. Get after it. The more obedient the monkey is to the heart, the happier the monkey will be. I'm gonna drop the strength of my smudge brush here for a second just to be able to get this curved blend going into here. Look at that, it just smooths itself out. That feels really good. It's it's too pale, but we'll be able to fix that on. We'll fix that. We'll get there. We know we're gonna get there. I keep bringing it up because there's a huge portion inside of me that's screaming, "What the fuck are you doing? Why are you wasting your time on this rendering where you're probably gonna paint over it with a darker color anyway? Aren't you kind of wasting your time here, son?" And it's like, maybe. But this is the process of discovery. This is where she wants me to go. This is what I'm going to do, even if I don't like it. Because this is what the piece wants me to do. Like anything that gets me to push another line of pixels, anything that gets me to lay down another line, anything that gets me to do something to push anything towards completion, that is the right thing to do right now. Because if you don't know what you're supposed to do, you do. It's just, you think that it's supposed to be, like, you want to see how it fits into the whole. Or you want to have acknowledgement, like, what I'm doing right now is relevant and important. And it is. It just might not be the thing that you want to do, or it might not be the way that you envision doing it. It still has to happen, and you're the one that's doing it. That's really important. And I think I just ran out of time. So I'll be going downtown tomorrow morning. I will not be on stream. I honestly don't know if I'm going to have a prepared video ready or not, but it is I'm moving in the direction of having a monthly video that will play on the day that I go downtown and don't have the opportunity to art in the morning like I normally would. Instead, it would be a replay, like here's a pre-recorded message from Phil about campaign design or color blindness or whatever. Whatever it is that inspires Phil to make a video. I can feel the inspiration, but the body hasn't quite moved. Just as much as it's important to allow yourself to move and do when you're inspired to move and do, it is equally important to allow yourself to rest and not do and be inert and be okay with that and not beat yourself up for not being productive or being on the timeline that you wanted to be on because it satisfies your monkey brain. That's not how life works. Life works in surges. There's no gradual progression from one end to the next. It's a fit of jumps, trips, false starts, half steps, stumbles, and bumbling forward until you reach your goal, because you don't know what the actual process life will take you through to arrive where you will be 5, 10 minutes from now, 5 years, 20 years from now, whatever is going to lead you to where you are supposed to be. It's our job to just enjoy the ride and not be so judgmental about where we're supposed to be and what arbitrary objectives we think is going to hitting those arbitrary numbers, like in corporations, like a big difference between, if what I understand, like a big difference between American corporate goal setting and, like, say, India, is that India's got a much more relaxed stance of it's going to get done when it's going to get done, while America is far more focused on what is this quarter going to look like, how are we going to increase productivity, profit, engagements, views, revenue. It has to go up, up, up. Up, up, up is only good. Up, up, up. And that's not how life works. It dips, it bobs, it sways, but it leads you to where you're supposed to be, whether it's up or out. And again, art is such a great, immediately observable instance of that sort of philosophy. It's very compelling. I see text. Hold on. I know I'm supposed to be out of here. Because being productive feels better. I struggle with that a lot. I'm not productive. It feels, yeah. Because you feel like you're losing time and that you should have done something. But we don't know the path, right? We don't know what needed, like, emotionally, psychologically, even potentially internal physiologically, what we need to do to be able to take that next step. And if we're inspired to take the next step, follow it. And you know you're inspired to take the next step because you take the next step even if you don't think you should. You immediately you engage, you move forward despite yourself. That is the process of inspiration. When you end up acting when you don't want to act, when you end up saying what you didn't think you were going to say, and you just move forward, something triggers that pushes you into that next state. It's because it was time. It was just time. And we aren't given a roadmap to any of this stuff when we're born. We just, it's the shock of it. It's the not knowing that makes life so exciting. So I don't know if this is going to be good or bad, but I know it's going to be interesting. And we're on board for the ride. You know? That's why we all signed up. And I am so out of time. Muse won't let me go yet. There we go. She's letting me go. Okay, cool. So far so good. Again, it's got a real drabness to it. It's not sharp at all. It's almost like, yeah, this is not the level of quality that I want, but I trust the process. We're going to get, it's going to be sharper. It's going to feel more slick. It's going to have texture. It's going to be interesting. It's not there yet. It just isn't. And you have to be okay with that. This is the middle ground process. We will arrive where we are supposed to arrive. But it fills the space well. Yeah. So far so good. So what? Let's give this a smidge of a tilt. There. I'm gonna hit save there. Like it, but it definitely needs it needs to pop. It's so far so good. It's structurally, it's sound. I like the body, I like the stance. That is good, but it needs more. And once we start layering in, we will find whatever that more is. It'll be there. It'll be there for us. Just gotta trust the process. So I'll be out of here tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday to continue rendering this. We'll have another 3 hours with this guy between now and Friday. And if it isn't quite done, I'll probably finish it over the weekend just so we can keep moving forward. But this will end up being a cool piece. I am certain of it. That's it for now, guys. I'm going to kick out of here. Thanks a lot for hanging out with me, guys. I really appreciate you. Really, really do. And anyone else that's come kicking through the channel, If you want to see me redeem myself with this piece, or see if I can actually pull it off like I say I can, definitely like and subscribe and keep showing up. And we'll see you not tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday. I may have a prepared video. Right now it doesn't feel like I will. But if I can pull something together and publish it for tomorrow morning for folks, check it out. Otherwise, we'll be back streaming this guy tomorrow on Thursday morning. So later, guys. Bye.